What about the idea of maybe going into the square in the same way that Conor McGregor did it? John, obviously didn't work out for him, and a lot
boxing.
of yeah. Have you ever think about doing something like that?
Boxing ring.
Yeah.
Man, I'm a realist, man. I'm a real guy for the most part, man. And I've spent my years. I grew up wrestling, and it helped me transition into be a really good mixed martial arts fighter only because I can slam a guy to the ground if he's hitting me too hard with his fist. And in the boxing ring, you got to stand there and take those punches. And if you get knocked down, you got to get that 10 count and stand back up. And I don't know, man. I don't think it's for me, man. I'd rather be able to use all my talents and kick a guy and wrestle a guy and choke a guy than just to sit there and take a whole bunch of punches to the face. I just really appreciate, being a mixed martial arts fighter. And, dude, I don't want to get punched by Deontay Wilder or Andy Ruiz, man. These guys look like they hit really hard. So I'm just going to stay in my lane and keep choking people out.
John, that is a wise maneuver. We also had Tyson Fury in the seat right next to me about a month ago, and every time he stood up, he kept
Big
going.
guy, huh?
He kept going. It didn't stop every time he stood up. I mean, these are some serious people. There's no doubt about that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, man, dude, yeah. I want no parts of Tyson Fury, none of these guys, man. I'm humble enough to know that where my lane is, and that's in the UFC.
So your older brother, Arthur, played for the Colts, Ravens, Redskins. Your younger brother is one of the best at his position in the profession right now for the Cardinals, formerly of the Patriots, and Chandler. John Jones, why did you never go for it in football like these guys did, your brothers?
Well, I tried to play football.
You did? Walk me through that.
Yeah, I did. I was never as good as they were when it came to football. I was always like third string. I was like 6'4", 170, and they had me on the defensive line. Opposed to my brother who was 6'4", 275, 280. And, I was just trying to keep up with those guys, and I wasn't. And I was third string, and my brothers were team captains, and they were always first string from the very beginning. And my wrestling coach, he pulled me to the side. He knew I was kind of a lost kid in high school, and he said, John, if you listen to me, and if you take this wrestling thing seriously, you do summer camp and you do the things I tell you to do, I promise you, man, I'll get you into college, and I'll help you find your niche. And I did. I focused my energy into the sport of wrestling, and it led me to a scholarship to wrestle in Iowa. And when I was done with school in Iowa, I found a jiu-jitsu school, which was a lot like wrestling. And I got really good at that pretty fast. And that guy encouraged me to try to become a full-fledged mixed martial arts fighter. And 9 months after my very first practice, I had signed a contract with the toughest organization to be a part of, being the UFC. And shortly after that, I became the youngest champion in sports history. And I realized that, I found my calling in life.
And what position were you trying to play in football? Same, were you on defense?
I was a defensive end, but I was freaking terrible. Absolutely terrible.
Well, I mean,
a better water boy for sure.
Well, I mean, some of your best moves would definitely earn you a 15-yard unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. I would think if you tried any of your UFC octagon maneuvers on a football gridiron, that's 15 yards each time, I imagine.
Oh yeah, for sure, dude. I'm always trying to, having two Super Bowl champion brothers, but I'm always trying to challenge myself against them when we're at barbecues or whenever we get the chance to be together. And they're like, "No, man, don't be kicking at me. Don't be punching at me. I don't play that game." Like, they don't want anything to do with the kicking and punching game.
For more of The Rich Eisen Show, tune to Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV for free on BR Live or download the Rich Eisen Show app.